just me yapping this episode. So here we go. No moose, no coup, but now you get to listen to all my wise thoughts. Here goes. Here goes my best moose impression.
Moose shit.
Welcome to Moose Shit, where we spout bullshit. My name is not Moose. My name is Hal, and I'm joined by no one today. I'm doing another solo episode. Yep, we're doing this again, and this time you get a bunch of me yapping instead of Moose yapping. And it's not that we don't want to all come together and start recording the podcast. It's just that some people don't come when they say they're supposed to come, or it's just in general. We've all been very busy, so we're still trying to keep up this podcast because, like Moose says, it's all about consistency. So I'm going to be yapping for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to be as long as Moose yaps for. And so what can I yap about? Well, let's see. Like Moose, I started my new job. That's why we haven't all been able to come together. That's part of the reason, because we all have other responsibilities. And that's not to say that Moose is low on the totem pole of responsibilities, but it kind of is. But that's okay. I am still here to entertain everybody, all of our viewers who listen to this podcast. And so now you get to listen to the inner machinations of my mind without having to be subjected to disruptions and yapping from Moose and Coop. Now you get to listen to some real quality wisdom here. So Moose actually asked me if I can record this yesterday. And yesterday I was high, and I kept on saying to him, and I always say to everybody, it seems like, whenever I get high, what I feel like, because I'm trying to describe this, right? Because especially to Moose, who doesn't drink and doesn't smoke, it almost feels like he's missing out on what it could feel like, right? So I feel like it's my responsibility to describe to him what I'm feeling, right? And I know it gets annoying when I'm high, but I just told him there's no way I could just record a Moose Shit episode high. And this is the reason, right? For me, when I'm high, all of the micro thinking that you do in like milliseconds for any decision that you're about to make, for me, I overthink those micro thoughts. And it's even crazy because, like, I hung out with about 4 or 5 friends yesterday, and it's just crazy because I was literally able to predict people's responses and predict the way they would act. Okay, and listen, I know that's not that crazy because you know personalities of your friends, but it was crazy in the moment. But anyways, shortly after that, I ended up puking, and I don't know if it's that I didn't have enough water, I didn't have enough food in me, but it wasn't the best high, is the best way I could describe it. But that, regardless, the point I'm trying to make is that I can't talk when I'm high, because if I start spewing all the nonsense that I'm thinking, it's not going to make sense. But the thing is that it makes sense in my head in the moment, but as soon as I start describing what I'm thinking, I forget it. Or when I don't forget it, I just start laughing and I just get really giggly. And it's so hard to describe it because I'm not laughing. Like, it could just be, okay, I could just see a squirrel run across the road, okay? And at a surface level, that is not funny. But inside my head, I'm just thinking, not necessarily at the squirrel running across the road, but I'm thinking, like, how I start thinking about how absurd the situation is that we're able to witness a squirrel just cross the road, and out of all squirrels, it had to have been this squirrel. And what is this squirrel thinking? And it just gets you into a pattern, and I just start laughing because of just how absurd I'm overthinking into it. And then I get into my mind about how other people are perceiving me. That's a big thing. I start thinking about what I look like to other people watching me. And then that makes me either angry or I start laughing, okay? Because I either think that I look dumb to other people on the outside, or the thought of me thinking about how I'm being perceived to other people is funny. Okay. I'm getting angry because I can't explain it the way I want to. But okay. I promise you that if you take a quick gummy, okay, and then rewatch or re-listen to this episode, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Enough of that. That's how you feel if you ever get high. So yes, I've started my new job. I've gotten to play a few more games. Oh, EA Sports, by the way, I want to congratulate really quick for producing a game that has over 50% positive reviews. EA College Football that they just came out with, which is so interesting because if you've been watching this podcast, you would know how much I dislike EA Sports. Because what they do every single year is they milk the money out of every sports fan, because every sports fan who wants to play this game on their favorite sport will have to pay $79.99 every single year to get the same dog shit product. And EXA exploits this because they know that they are a monopoly in the trademark of NFL and NHL and MLB and FIFA names and players' faces. And so that's the only company that produces these types of games that every sports fan is subjected to the poor quality that is EA Sports. And I've talked about them before, but I just want to congratulate them real quick on making a playable game. I have not played it yet because it hasn't come out on Steam, and I don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox yet, but I might be buying one specifically for this game because I'm feeling FOMO watching all these TikToks, and I can't be part of it. But anyways, congratulations, EA Sports. Okay. What else? I don't know how Moose yaps for 28 minutes straight talking to himself, okay? But I'm giving it my best go. Anyways, next thing I want to talk about is movies and TV shows, okay? I watch movies occasionally, and TV shows I watch in my spare time here and there. I particularly like thrillers and horror stuff. I like general drama. I like psychological and sci-fi stuff. But anyways, the thing about movies and TV shows for me is that if there is even just a minor plot hole, it's hard for me to continue knowing that plot hole exists, because it just takes me out of the story of it, and now I'm just thinking about ways that I can repair that plot hole internally, okay? So, an example. I'm watching Dark Matters on Apple TV, and I don't want to spoil it, so it's a spoiler warning now, but I'm really only going up to the second episode. Anyway, in this TV show, basically it's dealing with two different realities. One where the main character is an award-winning scientist, and he creates this box that he can actually travel into and walk into alternate realities and alternate universes where he or anyone really made a slightly different decision than the current universe that they're in. And then it deals with another reality where that same guy who was an award-winning scientist is actually a big family man and has had kids and has taken a step back from science. And the whole story basically talks about how the first main character is going into the second main character's life. He enters that reality, kidnaps him, and is now basically trying to become him. A really interesting story. But just that plot point itself, the whole TV show revolves around this idea that there are different universes that are created as soon as you make a different decision. So just the introduction of a box that allows you to travel into alternate universes already breaks that time loop, because every single decision that gets made after that box's invention creates infinite other universes where there are infinite other main character scientists winning people that have all decided to go into infinitely other universes, if that makes sense. Okay? It gets really complicated when you're trying to introduce time travel and universe jumping. And it's such an interesting concept, but it's unfortunate that so many movies miss the mark on that. But a good show that I can contrast with that does it really well is Dark on Netflix. Dark is a show also about time travel, about how characters are able to go inside this cave and travel into the past in increments of a certain amount of years. I forgot how many years. But basically, they're able to go in the past and even watch themselves grow up if they're living in the same area, which the characters were. They can watch themselves grow up. And it's such a great TV show because the very actions that the characters decide to do in the past shaped their younger selves for how they ended up when they're older. And it's hard to go into it without really giving some details. But what I'm trying to say is that they solved that paradox by making the decisions still affect their current selves, if that makes sense. Okay, there's always going to be paradoxes with time travel and alternate universes, and that's why I like it so much, because it does really make you think. But only a handful of movies and TV shows really explain the paradoxes that are associated with it in the first place. Okay, that's pretty much all my yapping. I don't really know what else to yap about. I don't know how Mose is able to do this for 28 minutes, but that's about it. So who knows? Next time, if all three of us will be here, maybe you'll get a Coob solo episode. Even though I can almost guarantee that that's not going to happen. But we'll see. I hope you enjoyed my yap session. These are the types of things that I think about and talk with myself about every single day. So, and I have a lot more thoughts, but they're not exactly thought-provoking. Okay. That's about it. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.